Trinity, that's your job from now on. Okay, you have to remind me to record every time. So, first of all, how did the financial homework go last night? I looked through homework. Some people did some of it. Some people did none of it. They might have done it, they just didn't post it. Some people did all of it. Rating out of 5. 5 meaning I 100% got it. There. Where's my hand? 5 meaning 100% got it. 1 being I didn't get it all. 3 being him. Could you type in chat generally your idea of understanding for financial? Okay. Leave it to Cam not to stay within the boundaries I gave him, but that's okay. He'd look at the answers. That's okay. You're just learning how to do it. So, alright. So, the answers I gave you yesterday were probably pretty tough because we just went from like very basic to the word problem aspect of it. So, okay. I'll see you when you're back. I'm muting you again. So, this will kind of be somewhat of a review, but also kind of move ahead along these lines. Because we're going to look at, yesterday we answered for A and P. Now we're going to find out what, we're going to figure out I and N. I and T, I mean. Okay? So, let's look at this first question. Looking only at the yellow, because we're kind of cut in half here, can someone help me fill out this chart? You can either type in chat, or you can talk to me about it. What do we know? No, A is the final amount. Use your principal. What's our principal in this case? Good. What else? 6%. Good. Yep. Yep. And what's our N? How many times is compounded per year? 12. Good. So let's work through this then. 2,000 bracket 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 to the power of 12 times 5. Okay? Now I'm going to leave this up here, and I want you guys to find the answer for me on your calculators before I answer it fully. Okay? Has anyone been able to get the answer yet? What did I do wrong? Oh, I see what I did wrong. So we're all getting the same answer? Or we all copied Lucas' answer and wrote it down like we got it ourselves? Good. So after we run the numbers, we get 2,697.70. Okay? Now, after those 5 years, she takes this money and invests in a new investment. So, can someone... Oh.
So all we do is change the B to that number?
Now we have different numbers here though, right?
No, I know. We have to change the 0.06 to 0.008. And then...
What?
So that,
Good, quarterly's 4. 0.08, you gave me that. This is this number.
And then you do 2006.
And what's my time? 7 years?
Yeah.
2005. Oh, 2006. You're right. 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we write in our formula here. I'm going to write this formula over here, but I changed colors so you kind of see. Oops. If you hear something behind me, it's my daughter playing. Yeah, Tanner?
I'm trying to do a question, but I can't get my calculator.
Which calculator are you using? Okay, the regular one? Okay. So I will use, with yours, Tanner, you should be able to write everything down straight up. 1 second here. Okay, I'll see if I can find one that's online here. Okay. Okay, here we go, Tanner. Can you see my screen? So for you to write everything in by itself, well, if you don't want to write everything in by itself, I would do this. Go 0.06 divided by 12 equals. Right? So that kind of took care of this part here. Then I'm going to add 1 plus 1 equals that. Then I do the power. To the power of 60. The one that says x to the y, or you might have something where there's a number and then like the exponent is where you plug in, like what exponent, where you can write in any exponent. It might be a hat. It might look like this. Okay? Okay. So the power is 60, which equals this number. Tell me if you got that number. and then times that by 2,000. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, you could write it in all together like this. 2,000 bracket 1. Now this is a difficult one. Plus, then do a bracket around this part. Oops. Where's my backspace? Then I go bracket again. 0.06 divided by 12. Close that bracket. Close the next bracket. And then go to the power of 60. You see how I wrote that in all together? So you could do that to get the final answer as well. Okay, yeah. Who got the, no problem. Who got the same answer as Chris here? Oh, not Chris. Sorry, Lucas. Did anyone else get the same answer as Lucas? Alright, you guys tell me when you're ready for me to go on, or you're just finishing this question yourself. Tanner's ready. Is anyone else ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
What kind of chips are you eating? Oh, okay. Alright, now for the hard questions. Not hard. All these questions you've done before. Unfortunately, it was before Christmas, so they've all fallen out of your head. Okay? So let's take a look at this question. If $300 grows If $300 grows to $1,200 in 15 years, what is the annual interest rate, assuming the interest is compounded annually? So let's write out our list of everything.
Do we got the path to the thing?
What do you mean F?
This one of those questions where you like answer a lot.
You got me confused. One second here. F to the Y.
I'm trying to think what we did it for.
I think you're on the right track. All right. So what do we know here? Can someone tell me, where does this 300 go? Someone tell me where the 300 goes. Good, principal. Because that's what we start with, right? How about the 1,200? Where does it go? We invested 300, it grows to 1,200. What's that 1,200 represent then? Yep, your A value. Good. what's my n value in this case? How many times is it compounded per year? If it's annually. 1. Good. I'll answer your question about the homework after we're done this part, okay, Emma? What's the rate? Oh, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the annual rate. So that's going to be our x. Okay. And then, what's the t here? What's our t number? 15. Perfect. Let's plug everything in, as we usually do. I'm going to write down the original formula. Let's plug everything in. So here's going to be 1200 equals 300 bracket 1 plus x over 1, 15 times 1. Okay? Now here's my question for you. Well, one thing I can do here, since they're dividing by 1 and timesing by 1, those are just going to be the same. So this is just going to be x. And I'm going to put it in different colors so it doesn't get mixed up. Ooh, and nice and fat apparently. Alright. So now, I need to solve for that x. So I need to isolate it. Can someone tell me my first step I'm going to do? Can we take a guess at it? I need to isolate that x, so I need to move everything over to the other side, sooner or later. Good, you need to get rid of the 300. How are you going to do that, Alicia? What's the 300 right now? Plus, multiply, plus, minus, multiply, or divide. What is it? Good. So it's a multiply. So it comes over, it's going to become a divide. 1200 divided by 300 equals 1 plus x to the power of 15. Right? And that's the same as putting both over 300. The same deal. So that's going to equal 4 equals 1 plus, I'm going to stick with this big X. Good. Now we've got this. How do we get rid of this power to the 15? So we need to get inside this bracket. How do we get rid of that power to the 15? And this is what we did last semester in our oh my god, not square root it. McCann, you're 100% right, but not square, but we're going to take the square root of the 15. Good. We're going to take the 15th root of this number. So on this side, on the right side, we're just going to get, these brackets are going to drop, like this will take out this. So we're going to be with 1 plus x. On this side, we're going to have to do some fancy calculator work here. So for example, if you're using a calculator such as, oh, do I even have this? Uh-oh. May not have that there. Okay, so if we're using our Apple one here, we're going to go 4, then we're going to press this button here with the little x on the square root. Let's say we're going to press 15 and then press equals. Okay, so there's our answer, 1.097. Okay? I'll do that one more time. 4, then this button with the x, square root y, and this one will press 15 and press equals. If you're using a scientific calculator such as this, I would write 15, then press this button, and then put 4 inside of it, and you get the same answer. Has everyone been able to get to 1.097 on the calculator? Or if you haven't, please let me know. We're all successful in getting that? Yes. Got it. Good. Okay, perfect. So now we still have that x to isolate for, so we need to bring that 1 over, right? So that 1 right now, it's a plus. So when it comes over, it's going to become a minus. Which is going to result in x being 0.097. Now, is that your answer? 0.097, or what do I have to do to that answer to make it into a percent? We've been going the other way the whole time. Is 0.097 the percent? Good. Times by 100. So I'm going to go up here. 0.097 times 100 equals 9.7%. Okay. Are we thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle on that one? Do you want to do another question along those lines? I have 1 thumbs up. Okay. Every time? Okay, here we go. Here's a different one. So what we've done so far, if you think about it, so if this is our formula, okay, we've solved for this already, right? We solved for this already. We solved for this. Now we need to solve for t, okay? So let's write down my list of things here. R, N, T. So let's go through and figure out what we have here. So who wants to walk me through where to put everything?
Someone be a brave volunteer. Okay.
Yeah. Someone help him out in chat there. Oh, you can't see the chat? Well, how much did we start with? There's the question.
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
How long would it take?
Oh,
How much do we end with? Good job, McCann. Yeah, so let's double 5 is 10,000. Do we have an interest rate? So that is, what is the number? 0.1. Right?
oh.
Okay. And what's our n? You're doing quite well. Good. I'll mute you. What's the end here? He muted himself. How many times is it compounded per year? Semi-annually. Semi means half. Right. Half. No, there's only 2 then. Semi-annually is 2. Okay? And then t is our unknown. Okay? So let's plug everything in.
So, okay. Oh, 10.
Good. Can you plug it all in like I have it on the screen? Oh, no. That's fine. You see my screen right now? Alright.
Yeah.
So, someone else hop on the mic here and tell Cam our next step here. How do we isolate for that x up there? I'll leave it as t right now. And it becomes a 1. Good. 10,000 divided by 5,000. And we can even do inside the bracket right now, right? 0.1 divided by 2 is 0.05 to the power of t. Okay? Then we'll just do our math here. 2 equals 1.05 to the power of t. Now, who can think back of when we had a unknown as our exponent? How did we bring it down? Do you guys remember that? Or do you need a Christmas time, or do you need a hint? Not a fraction. It's something you throw in the fire if you're cold. A bunch of you city kids won't get it. More specifically, what kind of, like, a log. Who said log? That was Ben. Very good. McCann got her. So now we log both sides. So we take the log of 2 equals t log of 1.05. Now, to make it easier on your calculator, you can do this. Log 2 divided by log 1.05 equals t. Can we type that in our calculator and get an answer for me? Now, the reason I bring it over there and make it a divide is if you look here, it's t times log. So if it's a multiply on this side, I bring it over and it becomes a divide. So when you have your answer, type it in the chat there and we'll take a peek at it. Oops. Did we have success in getting the 14.2? Could anyone not get there? So we're good right now? Can I assume we're good, even though we shouldn't assume? Lucas says we're good. Should I ask a specific person if they're good? Who haven't I heard from in a while? Z, you good? There you go. Fiona says she's good. Alright. Let's finish the last example question. And then that's it for today, for the lecture part. You guys have time to do your homework. Oh, very good, Z. You're thriving. Alright. So let's take a look at this question here. I want to give you a little bit of time to list these for me. Let's set up the question. Okay? Well, don't tell me, Lucas. Don't tell me yet. Is that Carl? Jory, is that the fat dog you talked about? Like the very first day of school?
Yeah, that's fat dog.
He doesn't look that fat, does he? I don't see her body, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have stairs in your house and she has to like take a rest when she gets when she goes up the stairs she gets tired?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try to fill this in. Here's my question for you. If you've been able to fill this in, can you like just put a Y in the chat for me or something along those lines? Edge is going to get the Maffey treatment here. Oh, good. Lawrence, of course you would. Okay. So who can help me out and give me the answers here? Or you just want me to write them down? Someone tell me, I'll ask it one by one. What's my AM? Actually, let's start with P. We always start with P. What's my P? Someone write it in the chat for me. P is 1,000. Thank you. What's my A amount? Good. 15,000. Now, if you've answered one question, I took your answer, so that was Paris's. What's my R in this case? Can someone give me my R? Very good, Ben. Now, what's my N on compounded quarterly? Good. And this is my unknown right here. Right, so that's my T is my unknown. Would you rather me, I'm going to give you about 3-4 minutes to work on this yourself. Use the one above as your guide. And I want to see if you can figure it out here for me. Oh, way off. I'll leave that up, and I want to give you a couple minutes to see if you can work through it by yourself before I do. I'm checking OneNote on my phone, by the way, as you can see. Oh. Ah. Okay, we'll work through it again. Hicks, we got lots of time. We'll probably go back and do the previous ones so we understand those and then work ahead. If that makes sense. Has anyone done the question so far? I don't know the answer. No, that's not the answer, I don't think. That's not the answer I have in my answer book. Oh, I see what you guys are missing one little step. You guys are really close, but you're missing one little step. The n is going to play into your final calculation. Oh, shoot. I made a mistake on this one up here. Wait, pause for a second. Look up here. I made a mistake. So this was semi-annually, so that should have been 2. Up here, it should have been 2t, 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 2t. So we should have had 2t equals 14.2. So at the very end, I moved this 2 over, which equals 14.2 divided by 2. So t should have been 7.1. I forgot about this part of the equation up here. Okay? So take a look at your answer again, Chris, Nathan, and Lawrence, and use that in your next one. Good. So I'm going to work this through here for people to follow along. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug everything in. 15,000 equals $1,000, 1 plus 0.09 divided by 4 to the power of 4t. Okay? I move this over. It becomes a divide which then equals Okay. Is there anyone following along that does not understand where I am right now? Okay, we're good. Then I'm going to take a log of both sides. Which is going to equal this. Yes, ma'am? What's your question?
I don't have a question.
Do I have a question? You have to pair them. Just get, no. Is a paired wire headphones? Give me a second. Oops. Yeah, they're listening. I don't know how many are paying attention. My son's asking me for headphones right now.
Yeah, I want to see this. Torture!
Alright, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're gonna get tortured.
Let's go, Tim. Oh, there's a pair hanging on the back of the bathroom door. Yeah, a white pair. Okay, so how does everyone feel about the financial stuff we went over today? Out of 5. 5 being I got it, 1 being no clue, and so on and so forth. Okay. 4, 4, so we're feeling okay. So what I will do right now, if you watch here, actually it's already in there. Thanks, Chris. Your homework here, if we kind of label this as like, this would be question 1, question 2, question 3. If I look at your homework, and I will use Emma Hicks's as an example. Wednesday homework. If we look at the financial questions. Now, this being said, if you didn't understand yesterday's financial stuff, I want you to go back and get that down before you come to today's. Okay? But if we look at this one here, I'm going to label them as like 1, 2, or 3. As in, like example 1, 2, or 3. So Bev invests for 2. Oh, this one here. Fan plans to invest. This is kind of like a review here. This would be a review. This person here invests for 3-year term. Now, when it says maturity, that means when the 3 years is up. Okay? This is kind of just like a question 1 that you did up top. Okay? So after 3 years, then we're going to invest here. This one here, when Ron's born, he gets $5,000 deposited. When he's 21, he gets this. At what rate was it? That is a question 2 question, where you have to take the certain square root of it. Okay? This one here, what's the interest rate? Same as that. That's a question 2 question. Oil painting, the interest rate is a question 3 question. Oops, that's a horrible 3. How long would it take? Oh, sorry, that's a question 2 question. My fault. I believe it's a question 2, if I'm not mistaken. How long would it take? That's a question 3 question. How long? Question 3. And how long? Question 3. So there's kind of your guide of what questions to follow. And the note that I've taken is in your content library. So if you go to content library and go to Wednesday class notes, those are the notes I did with you just now. Okay? So that is all for, oh, let's do one last thing. Go to your attendance again. So I put in that link, and make sure this time, when it comes to the time, I get to write your last name, first name. When it comes to the time, make sure you click on the, let me look here, the 12:30 section. Don't just leave it as 9 a.m. Make sure you leave it at the 12:30 section. Okay? And this is probably how I'll do attendance each day, just to make sure I know who pops in, pops out, and I can adjust my attendance as it goes. But I won't do it at the same time every day. And I'm going to lock it so you can only do it once. So right now, if you're doing one for your friend, for example, if Tanner was doing one for Lawrence to make sure that he registered that I was here, okay? I'm going to lock it that you can only do one per day or something along those lines. Okay, but it's a nice easy way, I think, for me to do attendance so I can look back at it. So as I was saying, that's all for instruction today. If you have any questions, I'm going to turn off my recording.